Hi guys, it's Jada Mahogane and I am back with another video. If you are new to my channel, welcome, and if you are one of my day ones, welcome back. I miss you guys so much. So for today's video, we are going to be discussing, or I'm going to be openly discussing how I got lipedema, how I found out that I had lipedema, because I do get that question. People ask me, they ask what it is and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead and address the elephant in the room so you guys know, and if you are kind of thinking that you may have it, maybe this will help you out. So if that's something that you want to hear more about, go ahead and stay tuned. Okay, y'all. So what I will say is, as of now, they are still researching lipedema itself. I don't think, as far as I know, there are any studies that shows that lipedema is, like, I guess, hereditary. There isn't any specific studies showing that. However, what I will say is that, in my personal opinion, it could be genetics, but they're still doing testing on these theories and these things or what have you. So let's rewind a little bit. Okay, so when I was younger, I would say I was like pretty normal for the most part. My mom said, like, when I was younger, I had like little chunky legs and chunky arms and stuff like that, but a lot of babies do. So that isn't really anything new. I would say when I hit about puberty, I noticed that my arms and my legs were just bigger than most girls around me. And I do have pictures. If I can find them, I'll insert them in the video so you guys can see. So like when I was going through puberty, you know, 16, 17, 18, I did have large legs. Ongoing. They just kind of got bigger and bigger. And when I was in college, I did ROTC, and it was challenging for me because I had a lot of leg pain, but I didn't, you know, it's almost like you feel like, ugh, like I'm just lazy, or like I don't know what's wrong with me, why everybody can do this and I can't do this, and it's so hard for me. And that's kind of like your mindset. You kind of just beat yourself up about it. Like it was just that kind of situation. So let's fast forward to now. I remember after I had my daughter and I got on birth control and everything, I'm like, man, my legs have gotten so big. Like, and I could not understand why. Like, I pretty much did like my research. I tried to eat healthy, did keto, did whatever. And I'm like, I will lose weight, but nothing happens in my limbs. Like literally, those would not change at all. So one day I was just like laying around and I'm like, let me go on the internet. And I went on the internet and I was just like, I don't remember exactly what I typed in, but I typed in like small body, like large legs or whatever, hard to lose weight in your legs, something like that. And I remember seeing lymphedema. And I kind of kept searching, kept looking, kept reading. And I remember during this time, I was also talking to my mom about it because me and my mother had the same build. So she has large legs and larger arms as well, but a really smaller upper body. So finally, I saw something that said lipedema, and I got to reading. I was like on a hiatus with this. Like I could not accept it. I'm like, there's no way. I'm like, I don't eat bad. I'm active. Like, there is no way. Like, what am I doing wrong? Like, why can't I lose weight? Like, I don't get it. And not because I want to be small, but because like my legs were starting to hurt. Like at first I was not having any pain. And I'm like, cool. Then all of a sudden I started having all of this pain, and I'm like, this is not normal. Something is going on. So finally I saw lipedema, and I got to reading, and you know, everything that they were describing was what I was feeling or dealing with. And I remember telling it to my mom, and when I told my mom about it, she was like, oh, I'm going to ask my doctor about it. And my mom lives somewhere else. So she was like, oh, I'm going to ask my, my primary care doctor about it. And she went and they actually told her that, yeah, you have lipedema. So once she kind of got that diagnosis, I'm like, okay, let me check this out. Let me ask. And before we asked, we found some groups on Facebook. We had joined some groups on Facebook, and lo and behold, it's this huge world of other women that have similar shapes, some bigger, some smaller, some in between, like a vast, I was really surprised, because it's like growing up, I'm like, dang, it's just me and my mom. My mom gave me these legs. My sister's legs don't look like this, just mine. You know what I'm saying? I used to hate it. I'm just like, what the F? So I went to my primary care doctor, and I just told her like what was going on. I wrote down like a whole paper, y'all, front and back, because I was like, no, they're not going to turn me away, because some of the ladies in the group was saying like sometimes their doctors just did not want to hear what they had to say and just fat shamed them, basically. Like fat shamed them. And I just think that's kind of effed up. So I was like, no, y'all not going to do that to me. I got a mouth on me. It's not happening. Like, y'all are going to hear me out. So I told my doctor what was going on. And she was like, okay, I'm going to make the appointment. And also I wanted to see the dietitian. So I also made an appointment with the dietitian, because I just wanted to cover all bases. I'm like, let me talk to the dietitian. Maybe it's something that I'm doing. Y'all, the dietitian basically told me, there's nothing wrong with you. I can't help you. If anything, you need to be eating more. You don't eat enough. Y'all. Okay. So that was that. And I figured she would say that, because I genuinely don't eat a lot. And for all you healthcare people out there or whatever, things are changing. Life is changing. We do not have to eat 3 meals a day. There are so many studies that show that you do not have to eat 3 meals a day, but we're not talking about that right now. Okay. So they made the appointment, and they made the appointment at the lymphedema clinic, and that particular clinic is in our cancer center here. And I remember going there a while ago because they saw something in my blood work, and they couldn't really figure out what was what and why it was the way it was. And I honestly feel like it has something to do with the lipedema. But they sent me back there, and the lady was like, absolutely, like, you definitely have lipedema. You have all of the characteristics of lipedema, but I also have a few varicose veins. So she wanted me to go to the vascular surgeon as well to check on that as well. But yeah, that's basically how I found out. I kind of like Blue's Clues my way on down, because I knew something was not right. Pretty much, and like I said before, if I can insert a picture, I'm gonna insert it here about like what it looks like when you have lipedema. It's typically you have a smaller top, you have like regular size feet. If you only have lipedema, I know there's people who have lipedema with other health related things going on, and their characteristics may be different. So I'm just specifically talking about people who have lipedema. You typically have small, like slender feet, your typical ankle size that matches, the rest of your body, but you have large calves, large knees, large thighs, and like booty and hips. So basically it's like you got tree trunk legs. And I know y'all, I'm laughing because I've dealt with this my whole entire life. So I've dealt with it. So I'm not really sensitive as far as like talking about it. I love my body. I love myself. I just hate being in pain. Like, it's painful now. So anyways, so yeah, you have basically your legs are almost like the same size all the way down. Like, there's not, how most people that you have large thighs and then you have small calves and your knees, it kind of tapers down. People who have lipedema, it's not like that. It's almost like it may be a little wider, like around your thigh area, your butt, and then it goes down a little bit, and then it's like the same all the way down. You typically have, I don't want to say cankles, because that's not it, but you'll have like an ankle cuff, and then it's like small, and then whoop, all of this calf is big. And then your knee, you may have like overhang on your knee area. And if I can find a picture kind of depicting this, I'll link it there. But that's the typical characteristics, and they said I did have that. So that's pretty much how I found out I had lipedema and was diagnosed. So yeah, that's really it. It didn't really take much, but yeah, that's really it. So if you are out there and you think that you do have lipedema, because you can have it and be small. You can be small and have lipedema, or you can be large and have lipedema. It's not it doesn't really matter. You'll know if you do have it, if your body, what I described, matches that. Yeah, you can go to a lymphedema clinic and they can diagnose you that way, because sometimes our doctors just want to fat shame us to death, and it kind of deters us from seeking further help. Bypass them, tell them to make you an appointment at the lymphedema clinic, or actually call and make it yourself, and then you can just cut the BS out. Okay, y'all? So yep, there's my story, in case anybody was wondering. You guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram. That's where I post like little cool stuff, little different stuff. But yeah, until next time, bye.